Boopy-doo! Hey, buddy. What are you doing? Hey! Hey!
Hey, what's going on, everybody? So today I'm going to be doing a bit of a sketchbook tour. This is actually going to showcase the work that I have from when I first started drawing. Alrighty, this is my sketchbook. This is the first sketchbook I've considered complete. I probably got this one in college. I also have some old stuff in here as well, so we'll just kind of flip through this and see what we got. So this is actually a piece from my cousin from a long time ago, but this is not mine. So we'll start in here, and this is in no, I'll just kind of explain the order, I suppose. But this is the first piece I actually did in this book. Actually, just kind of start the book, I suppose. This was 2013, yeah, right here. June 21st, 2013. There's some older stuff in here, but I mean, it's out of order, so. So here is a piece. A lot of the early days, I just basically found either a picture on Pinterest or a book, just something off of the internet, and basically essentially copied it directly to the piece of paper, just to get practice in, I suppose. But this is I actually had just gotten some artist pencils, I suppose. It was something like this, probably. Like this little case of pencils. It's not this exact one, but it's something similar to it, and I wanted to kind of use it, finally using something different than like a Dixon Ticonderoga. But anyway, that's what a lot of these are. And I'll talk about some of them that like I'm really proud of, like this one. I've actually, when I got into the idea of getting a tattoo, I wanted something of this nature, I suppose, but I ended up not getting it. I've got several tattoos now, and I haven't gotten this. So this is the first piece where I wanted to, this is one of the coolest pieces that I thought. What am I trying to say? It was one of the first sketching ideas for a tattoo. I may go back and get it one day. And a lot of this sketchbook is unfinished. It's just unfinished. Graduated from Forest County Agricultural High School. This is our mascot. An Aggie, once and always Aggie, always an Aggie, cool. Graduated in 2013, obviously. I did this one, I think I was still in high school. I can't remember. I don't remember exactly, but this is like taped into the sketchbook. And a lot of these pieces are. A lot of these pieces are just like copy paper and just regular old pencil, but this was high school, I believe. Another unfinished piece. I wasn't happy with the way it was turning out, these over here, and the scales here, and just the general shape, like the fingers and stuff were too small. I didn't like it, so I gave up on it, and this was, crap, this is probably 6 years ago at this point. Another cross. Just trying to get the idea of, I wanted a tattoo, and my idea was a cross. That's what I wanted. I was gonna have something to do with my mom written in here in these banners, but I can't remember what it was. I just don't remember. These are actually an old pair of work boots that belonged to me. Yeah, I wore these boots all the time, all over the place, and they were just dingy and worn out, and they were hand-me-downs, so they were just tattered. But it took really long time to do this shading here, and I was kind of tired of drawing at the time, so I didn't ever do this, but I think it looks cool this way. I think it looks cool unfinished. This was at the University of Southern Mississippi. This is just a scene just where I was sitting on a little ledge that looked a lot like this, just kind of sitting here and just drawing what I see, basically. Just drawing life here. And it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, so I didn't finish it. I got really tired, but you know, I just drew until I was tired of drawing, so I really like that pole here. I did this in college, and this was, I hadn't drawn in a long time, and I figured, you know what? My original drawings were Dragon Ball Z, and all my original pieces started out with Dragon Ball Z characters, Yu-Gi-Oh characters, and the monsters, and Pokemon characters from the cards from Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon, so it's cool. I also have a book that I'll go get that. So I actually pulled reference from these 2 books here. As a kid, I got them probably when I was in the 7th or 8th grade. I can't remember, but yeah, this is a piece. You know, I pulled inspiration from these, and you'll kind of see that. So I totally forgot to mention this real quick though. These books, I got my hands on these probably like 6th or 7th grade, I can't remember. But the date on the first time I ever saw the Dragon Ball Z one was in like 2nd grade. And it was so cool because all the older kids, that's what they were drawing. They were drawing out of this book specifically, and they were drawing Dragon Ball Z characters, and it was so cool. So when I finally got my hands on one, mind blown. I was so pumped. So I use those, I use cards, I use pictures off the internet, and that's kind of what I use my inspiration from starting out. This one was Southern Miss wanted a redesign, they had to redesign their logo, so this was I was trying to figure something out. I didn't like it, so I didn't submit the ideas, but obviously the new one doesn't look anything like this. A little collaboration, Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh collab. This was supposed to be Gary, but I kind of messed his face up and I didn't like it. Yeah. Again, Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon. Big inspiration here. Some pieces I did in high school. Followed a tutorial by Mark Crilly here. A Jedi Stitch, why not? Leonardo, my absolute favorite Ninja Turtle. Hello, doggy. Look at this, another unfinished drawing, just trying to do the 3 dogs, and Raikou, he's supposed to go in here somewhere. I got done with Entei, I got done with Suicune. Suicune was, I wasn't liking him too much, and so I quit, like, story of my life, I guess. I quit so many drawings just because of little intricate things. I just didn't have the patience. I was intoxicated. That's what I'm gonna say. I was intoxicated when I drew this guy. It's hilarious. Alright, so moving on. Danny Phantom. I did this one in college. 2014 maybe? A lot of this is like, there's no particular order of this sketchbook. It's just kind of smashed together. As you can see, just some paper. That's how I started out. I honestly started out with line paper. I started drawing just on line paper, and then I moved over to copy paper, and then I finally got this sketchbook. So a lot of pieces in here that are just line paper and copy paper. That's the original, like when I first started to get into drawing. But this was a fedora I had, and I was just drawing still life, just trying to practice, see what my style was, just trying to get into drawing. And here's a couple more pieces. I was still in high school when I did these, 2012. I did these a couple of days apart, honestly. So, there's some more pieces. All these line pieces I did when I was still in high school. It was either a junior or senior. Or the summer between junior and senior year, probably. This is one of my earliest pieces, actually, this one right here. I'll do this. And here I am working on my signature, and you can actually see, let's see, you can see it evolve over time, and that's something super cool, because something I kind of took pride in is my signature. But this little guy, and then flip the page, and this is a piece where I got my hands on some colored pencils and wanted to try it out. I think I did okay. It was all right. Something that was frustrating was the fact that I was copying everything. It was just, I was using reference for everything and nothing. nothing was being like, nothing of it was original. That's what I'm trying to say. And so I got kind of frustrated. High school, college. I want to break something out. This is going to be in another sketchbook tour, but this is these two side by side, which is super cool, right? Getting in there, like, huge difference. So that's like, what, 5 years difference? 12 to 17? But I thought that was cool. I'm probably going to start doing some more of that, redrawing my old drawings, because a lot of this stuff I was really, really proud of. But, I mean, actually, this was done, both of these pieces were done when I met my wife. I met her at a gas station. I was working at a gas station, and she would come over to the gas station all the time. When she noticed me, one of the first times she noticed me, I was drawing one of these two pieces. I can't remember, but I was drawing one of the two. And I was just kind of doing my thing. I had my headphones in. I was just whatever behind the counter. And she walked in and noticed that I was doing this. And that's, you know, one of her first impressions of me was me drawing. And it's something I love to do and I always have loved to do. But that's super cool. And here we are several years later. That's almost 4 years ago. Good gracious alive. It's 2019 now. Here we are with some more Dragon Ball Z. This piece came out of this book. And this one came out of, it's actually like a little collaboration I did. I found this piece on the internet, and this was a separate piece on the internet, and I kind of mashed the two together, and it was cool. I was so proud of this, actually. When I was in high school, I had this thing, I had this one laminated. It's actually laminated, which is pretty cool. It's laminated. And this was like right before I graduated high school. And this was on into like 2011, 2010, 11? I don't know. But this was 2013, right before I graduated high school. Not really proud of this piece. I don't really like drawing hands. Hands are hard. Spider-Man's webbing is hard, and the coloring was meh, so I just, whatever. This was drawn by my wife, way before she and I got married. She was at my house and found my sketchbook and drew something in it, which is cool. Actually, I drew the same face. This was actually her face. She drew it, and later on down the road, you'll see in the sketchbook where I drew the same thing, using the same image and come up with two different things. These two pictures were done out of this, an inspiration from here. Actually, I'm probably gonna show you. Let's see. Here we go. These were already pre-colored, actually. When I got my hands on this, it was done like this, and I was assuming by Darius in 2002. Darius, he went by, we called him A.D. Harrelson. And that's a really good friend of mine. I don't know if this is his book, I don't know, but I think it's his. And thank you, A.D. Your book has gotten me to where I am today. Thank you for that. More Dragon Ball. Again, the line paper I did before I did this. So I worked on line paper, and then I kind of evolved into copy paper and then into a sketchbook. So just to kind of give you that timeline, this was first, then this one, first, then this one. So, but this was like within like a month of each other. So a lot of the Dragon Ball stuff was all drawn in like within a month or so, because I was like hugely inspired. And also you can kind of see my stuff kind of evolving already, which is cool. That's super neat, super cool. I've actually got a couple of pieces. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Blue eyes. Love blue eyes. Actually, I want to show you something. This right here kind of pays homage to my childhood. A little Funko Pop couple of deck boxes. This little box is full of cards. This one's full of decks, I think. Yeah, full of decks. So this is like, I don't play with these anymore, but I played with them as a kid. And so these are some of the cards that I had a long time ago, and they sit on my bookshelf, and that's super cool. It kind of all, I don't know, it's a thing. This one is also laminated. This one's laminated. There was like 4 or 5 of them that got laminated. I would just take them to the library in my high school and ask a guy or the librarian to laminate them for me. These two are both laminated as well. Yu-Gi-Oh card, straight from a Yu-Gi-Oh card, which is cool. Can't remember the name of it. This one, yeah. This was done in college, actually, I think. And I tried to do it all with Sharpie, with no reference or anything. I remember drawing a circle with pencil. But then the rest of it, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it with Sharpie. So I tried it with Sharpie, and then I did it with colored pencil, and this is what I came up with. This guy is inspired by Smash Bros. Super Smash Bros. Brawl is where I got the inspiration to draw this guy. We played that game all the time as kids. It was so cool. So much fun. Bang. Here's this guy again. This guy out of this book, like I showed you. This guy, this is Sora. Supposed to be Sora from Kingdom Hearts, but you know, I could do, you know, this is just a anyway. SpongeBob. I think I used this as reference. Used a reference for this, but then made up this background all on my own. I think. I can't remember. It's been a long time ago. I don't remember. This one is probably one of my most prized possessions from, you know, back then, as the page is bent. But this one's also laminated as well. And I ran a staple through all the corners, but whatever. Okay. This was college. I was in a really dark mindset when I did this. I was listening to a lot of Avenged Sevenfold. It was cool. 2013 or so. This piece actually was done by my brother, Dawson Bounds. He has a Instagram. Let me see. My phone. I'm using my phone to record. What am I thinking? His Instagram is... It's just Dewey, I think. D-E-W-I-E, I think. Or just look up Dawson Bounds, and that's him. That's my brother. But he actually... He's a New York Yankees fan, but he knows I'm an Atlanta Braves fan, so he did this for me. And this was at the same time that I was doing all the Dragon Ball Z stuff, like on this lined paper and whatnot. I had just a spiral-bound notebook I would draw in and rip it out and then stick it in a folder. And he had a composition notebook, I think. Yeah, a composition notebook, and he had... I remember him drew this. He sat in the closet and drew this, it meant a lot to me. So much that I kept it, and here it is today. It's still here. And that was years ago. That's cool. An original character design by yours truly. I gave these little coloring books a try. I don't like them, actually. I hate them. I cannot stand them. Don't ask me why. I just don't like them. And my wife has a couple now. She's got a couple of them, and I think she draws in them. Maybe she colors in them, but I can't stand them. I don't like them. Nope, not for me. But I did give them a try, and I kept up with a piece that I did try. I was really focused on the colored pencil part, which I've never been good at, but I want to get good at them. So I've got a good set of them. So that's going to be something to practice, something to do, something to get better at for sure. Character designs. I wanted to design a character. This was Mark Crilly. I did a tutorial, watched a tutorial on him, and then come back and tried to make my own character. But I want you to notice something in this area right here. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, but there's something wrong here. And I'll just let you kind of figure that part out. Yeah, anyway. This was my idea was to design a character. Give him a personality, give him a whatever, just kind of create a character from scratch. And then I gave up on it. I don't know why. I gave up on it. He kind of looks like me a little bit. Anyway, here's the picture that I was telling you about. This is my wife. All right, so we're coming up on the end of the tour, so I'll just kind of fly through it a little. Not really fly through it, but speed up the process. This piece was unfinished. The plan was to have this guy fighting 6 other Pokemon, or out to capture 6 amazing Pokemon, or 6 of my favorites anyway. But I never finished it. I got frustrated. It is what it is. This was actually, both of these, this one was done in high school. This one was done in college. Yeah, college. And I'll tell you, I took one class on an art class in high school, drawing 1 and drawing 2, but it was kind of tied into one semester. This is the only piece I have left from that art class. And I've tried to recreate a couple of them, and one of my recreations is in here. But this is all I have. This is it. The rest of it, it unfortunately got lost, but this is what I got. But it is what it is. This was in college. I obviously didn't draw this. It was drawn for me. Someone saw that I was an artist, or self-claimed artist anyway. It was like, look what I can draw. And he drew this for me. And so I ripped it out and kept it. It was awesome, so it was a good experience. Practicing with humans, faces, whatever. This one right here. This was a recreation of, so what you do basically is you follow your hands with your eyes. And then over here on this other side, you're like drawing. But you're not looking at the paper, you're looking at your hand. You're like off over here and you're looking at your hand, you're following it. But I went back and put some lines into it and some shading and whatever just to spruce it up a little bit. But this was just a pair of glasses that I had sitting on the table. And I think this is the last page. This was college, 2000, yeah, look at that. 2016. So these two were done around the same time. This one I never finished. There was supposed to be a little mermaid here hanging over his head, but I got frustrated with it and erased it because I couldn't get the back. It was all like straight, and her butt was all like bumpy and weird, and I just didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. So I redrew it actually recently when I was in Iraq. I went back and drew the actual deal, which was cool. Super. I had just watched, what's the show he's off of? Holy crap. Fate Stay Night. Fate Zero, sorry. Fate Zero is what I watched it, and then I drew this. But this is the end. Now I do have a couple more pages left to go. This is a time period of my life where it's a bit of like, I've considered this time period over now, you know, with my artistic journey. This is part of the journey. This is a separate part of the journey. And I have another one that I'm working on right now. So it's going to be 18 and 19. This was 2011 through 16. This is 17 and 18. And the next one's going to be 18 through however long it takes me to finish. So this is what I have. This is my art. I'm going to showcase this one later. But yeah, this is it. 2011, 2016. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. I'm very, very proud of where I came from, and I'm very proud of where I am now. And I'm glad that of all the things that I've started and quit and just got tired of and just stopped altogether, you know, like with the cards and the video games and stuff, this is the one I stuck with the most. And this is my absolute favorite thing to do as far as a pastime. And so I'm glad I'm able to have part of this is like, this is my history book, basically. This is my humble beginnings. This is my journey. It's super cool. So I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you in the next video. See ya.